Yani unaangalia hivi screen, I can literally feel your breath. Kindly relax, okay? We'll get the acha kuniangalia hivyo. Wewe, I know I am quite the schnack. I know I am quite the schnack. But kindly relax, all right? Relax. Uniangalia hivyo, relax, eh? Relax. But anyway, hoping that you are here to stay. Let us walk. Just watch till the end. I don't know, I'm trying to use metaphors. Just watch till the end. Yeah, so let's get into it. Wacha nianzishe video vizuri sasa. What up guys, welcome to Minor Mind, a place where no mind is too minor, literally. If you're new, I hope you get the couple of words. Please don't make me explain. Okay, fine, it's because my name is Minor, and then there's like a minor aspect. So you put them together, there's that rhyming vibe. Minor. That's why I hate explaining. You see what it does? That's why I explain. But allow me to thank you for being such an amazing audience. Yani kukuja hapa kwenyu, kusubscribe, kulike, mentioning things that you should be doing, comment hapo chini, cheza na hiyo comment section. I'm so honored and I'm so grateful. We are at about 600 subscribers at this time, because anyway, it would drop in 2 weeks or 3 weeks time. But hoping it comes to you earlier. At right now we are at 600. Hoping by then itakuwa kitu 700. Cheza na hiyo subscribe button tafadhali. Cheza na hiyo subscribe button. Today I'm going to be talking about something very interesting. Why you should be taking cold showers. Every day when you take a shower, assuming that you take a shower every day tafadhali, because now that will be another topic. I cannot start now explaining at you why you should be taking showers. So in fact, wacha tu tuanzie hapa, kama ugangi daily tafadhali tumia tu recommendation. I have some videos here for you because you won't relate. You have to be showering on a daily basis to relate these topics, because that would be another video. In the meantime, tumia hizi recommendations. Every day when you go to shower na kuona, tumia recommendation. I know you don't shower every day. Tumia recommendation. Utarudi hapa after you start showering. Every day that you go to the shower, you're always presented with two options. Kuna kuangana options mbili, right? There's always showering with hot water or cold water. Kuna wengine wanakuanga na options zingine whether they'll use soap or not, but anyway, that's beside the point. Kuna kuanga na hizo option mbili, hot or cold water. The thing is, normally we rarely think of it like that, because normally 21st century kids, we were born into a society that is lopsided towards hot water. In fact, kuna kuanga na heater ama boiler ya maji for those who boil, but kuna kuanga na kahita hapo. Your work is just to na unaingia kwa shower unaanza kuoga. So it has never occurred to you, wait, I can actually use cold water to shower. But what happens when you take the counterintuitive? Counterintuitive hapa ni cold water because you know the intuitive is hot water, counterintuitive ni cold water. Keep up, I have to use these strong words so that credibility, guys, credibility. So what happens when you actually start using cold water to shower? Find out on the next. Actually, it's this video, sorry, I got too excited. Unajua ile stuff yenye ka suspense and then unakwambia find out on the next episode. Yeah, sorry. So number 1, it boosts weight loss. Ndio hiyo. I finally gotten your attention. That's what I wanted. Let me explain how this works. It's very funny. So every time you shower with cold water, this is what happens. The cold water hits your skin. So obviously you feel cold. What happens is that your body now starts finding a way to generate heat so that you feel warm. So what happens in turn, there are fats in your body called brown fats, right? So your body will burn these fats so that it can now start producing the heat, the energy, so that you feel warm. So the colder the water, the more fat you're burning. So in turn, unaona kale ka six pack you always wanted. Literally, you're getting it as you stand. Assuming you shower while standing. So it helps you to some extent burn fat. Number 2, it boosts your blood circulation in the body. This blew my mind, and this is so much recommended for people, with hypertension and whatnot. So what happens is that ukiingia kwa shower, again, tumeingia pale kwa shower, we have seen our two options. We are choosing the counterintuitive. Remember the counter, credibility, counterintuitive. You choose the cold water, and immediately again your body starts feeling cold because the water is cold. Why am I explaining? Anyway, you choose the cold water, and what happens is that your body again finds a way to generate heat. Your heart will start pumping more blood so that the blood can warm your body. Remember, blood is warm. Why am I explaining? You already get it. You're pumping more blood so that you can warm the body. But here's something interesting. As blood is pumped, a lot of blood goes to your brain. So your brain now is active, because blood is being pumped everywhere. You start thinking better, or effectively, it puts you at a theta state. Basically, it's your more creative state where you are simply buzzing with ideas. That's why they say sometimes the best ideas come up in the shower. Number 3, taking a cold shower relaxes your muscles. And this is specifically to people who are workout-holics. Get it? Because workaholics. So if you're a workout-holic guy, what? Workout-holic. If you are the type of guys like us who are already registered in a gym membership kind of stuff, I am not. I'm just prophesying or verbalizing so that it comes into reality. But in a more realistic sense, if you're the type of guy mwenye umetengeneza kasimiti kako, so every day unainuanga hiyo simiti, you need your muscles to relax and kind of release that tension, right? When you're working out, your muscle grows, so that's why you always feel the pain, the tension. You need the cold water to ease that tension. That's why there's something called cold therapy. You've seen athletes do it. Like sometimes they go and freeze themselves. Literally, again, the colder it is, the better for you. So you actually start releasing that muscle tension. Kama ni wale wase wa kukuwa anxious, unakaza haga, enda cold water. You will release, by the way. Utaachilia tu, trust you me. That's the magic of cold water. Utaachilia tu. Number 4, it shocks you into the present. How often, and kuwa honest, how often do you eat food and just savor the moment? Like unakula chakula and you realize, kumbe nikichew, taste inaishanga. Kumbe chakula tu ni kabiki. The more you chew, the more taste inaisha. Because many of us barely chew. I know that's disgusting, but many of us barely chew our food. Yani unakula tu thinking where you should be next or where you'd rather be, or on your phone. We barely live in the present, right? We barely live in the moment. We barely appreciate the now. We're always thinking, oh man, I should have done this, or man, I should do this in future. We barely appreciate the moment. Taking cold showers will train you to have your brain in the present. And this is how it works. Kamaji kakiguza. Assuming that you shower, the next time you go shower, do this. Use the cold water. You'll start realizing all these things that your brain is doing, coming up with excuses, you're getting ready to now get into the shower. And if you're not flexible, that's when you realize your back can actually come to the front. Your mgongo, like the back, this back, not the lower back. The point is, you'll start realizing how much you are immersed in that moment that you are thinking, if I only do this for the next 5 minutes, I am done. Like, it shocks you into the present. Sometimes we live in this world where everything is moving so fast and we barely have time to think of what is happening right now. Like this moment of me sharing with you, literally having a candid moment wherever you are. Like, I savor it. I appreciate the fact that yani umekaa hapa hii time yote just watching me talk to you. Again, usiniangalie hivyo tafadhali. Acha kukuja hivi karibu na screen, it's freaking me out. Appreciating the moments that we have. Taking cold showers will train you to actually do that. And those are just some of the minor benefits that actually even have scientific backup in them. But here's something that I want to talk about that is so major about the ultimate benefit, or why you should be taking cold shower. Right? And this is something that you will not hear people talk about, but it's very, very key, which is my number 5. Taking a cold shower trains your mind to overcome fear. In other words, it trains or teaches you to be comfortable with uncomfortable situations. Now, let me tell you a story. Let me just tell you a story. About 2 years ago, I was at an event. Now, it was a nice event, tents, showcases, and then there was the ultimate concert, people performing, but then there were people displaying their stuff in tents and everything, and there was a tent for people to sit. So I was in this event. It was my first ever event. Don't ask me why. It's not that I don't have friends. I'd started life. Why am I talking about this? We are talking about the story. So anyway, it was a beautiful event. And I remember when there early morning at around 9 a.m. because again, this kwangine hizi vitu za your party starting at 12 am afternoon. Me want to be there on time. Wakisema from 9 to 4, I'll be there at 9. Not knowing that people start arriving at 1. Anyway, I was there early, popped up ready for this event, looking at people as they set up their tent. Again, asking why I came that early. But I remember at around 10 a.m., I was at this tent looking at something, and I spotted this girl. And immediately it was love at first sight, or so I thought. It was a spark. Yani umeshaiona msichana hadi ukaanza kuona the relevancy of the words you used to use in composition and insha. Alikuwa na shingo ya upanga, alikuwa na mapua ya kuchongwa, hoping that's correct. Alikuwa na meno ya maziwa, alikuwa na nywele iliyonyoleleka, alikuwa na nywele iliyonyoleleka, alikuwa na nywele iliyo, hakukuwa na kitu ya nywele, sio? Alikuwa na macho ya gololi. That's when I actually started realizing these things actually make sense, because this girl, she was something else. So anyway, I spotted this girl, and I remember I was talking at Chinyamaji, just looking at where she's going, this place and everything, and I noted she had 3 friends. So me, I went to a tent where I could sit and just watch what was happening, and she was of course on that tent, so we kind of nyuma, and I saw her right there at the front, and she was talking to her friends, and I think they were telling her to go to the, and she didn't want, and so they left, and she was left there. And here's one of the places I want you to note. So as I was seated there, I was like, okay, fine, she's alone, there's an empty seat next to her, go sit next to her. I was imagining all the other people that were preying on her. Thank God everyone was like in a clique. People had their friends. So it was just me lonely, her lonely. I was like, bro, what are you waiting for? And I remember my brain already immediately starting to say, bro, man, it's too early, man. She'll think you're a weirdo. Why would you go and sit there? Kwani una mabeshte hata wewe? Forgetting that hata yeye ameachwa na mabeshte, I should have just gone and, fixed the puzzle. I mean, the universe was speaking, Kevin, go. But me, I was like, man, it's too early. Man, she might even think I'm weird, or man, she doesn't maybe even want company. Maybe that's why then her friends left. So out of nowhere, this Chile looks at me. That was my reaction. I froze, and then she rises up, gorgeous and angelic as she is, and she came to where I was. Came, with all the courtesy. She asked, do you mind? There was an empty seat, and she sat. This was the weird part. All this time we sat together, the conversation flowed. Have you ever been with someone and felt so comfortable that you actually start suspecting there's something missing? Or you're either related with this person. I talked to this girl, and for some reason, I was not even thinking of my next sentence. When you think, bro, sema kitu wise. No, I was not even thinking of my next sentence. I was just flowing. We were having our moment. When I come here and say those jokes of minor, and minor, she was actually laughing at that. Normally, people will be like, okay, now wajuanga hata mnichoche hapa comment section. I know what you guys do. I know what you do. For her, it was a legit laughter. Unless she was an actress. But I believe not. It was a legit laughter. And at some point, my brain just started ticking. Again, take note of this part. And I was like, bro, get her number. Something in my brain. When it's flowing and then kunako kakav. And then tells you, get her number. And then you ignore it. And then you go, get her number. So it was this kind of reminder, bro, get her number. And every time I was like, bro, it's too early, man. Bado ni early, event iko. Maybe she doesn't even have a phone, because the whole of that time she didn't check her phone. She even made me not check my phone, but me, I was just thinking, get her number. And maybe she'd think I'm a weirdo. And I was like, bruh, at the end of it all, at the end of the day, event ikisha, she will definitely, itakuwa zile mambo za protocol. By the way, so let me get your number because you've been vibing. Unajua, it's like when you're talking to someone, a stranger, and then umalizie na zile za, by the way, what was your name? Umeshaiongea na mtu na hujamuuliza jina, and then you're like, by the way, what's your name? Don't ever do it. It's quite awkward. You can imagine umesha relate na mtu amesha kuambia how they were forced out of their home, and then umuulize what was your name. Tafadhali always get the name before the conversation starts. So me, I was thinking it would be like protocol. Zile za, so exchange contacts. I gave in to my excuses, my brain excuses. Right now I'd be married. It's been 2 years the line, and I can't get out of my mind. Now talking about it makes it even worse. Now 2 years later, right? When I started now showering with cold water. And I remember I'd read this, about showering cold water and the benefits and everything. And I was like, bro, let me just start gradually. And the first morning, put on the shower, sijaeka heater. And I remember my brain telling me, bro, let's start tomorrow when you're more ready, when it has settled in. The brain started, let's start tomorrow. Let's not do it today. It's not a must, bro. It's even cold. You might get a cold because it's the first time. Unajua ni zile culture shock. Sijui hata culture shock ilikuwa inakuja wapi na showering ama climate change that you're not used to cold shower and then or all of a sudden you immerse yourself there and you get this climate change that makes you sick. Brain was so creative with this excuse. And I remember I went there, showered, 5 minutes, I was done. The next day I came back and the same excuses repeated themselves. And this is what I realized. This part of the brain that was giving me these excuses was the same part of the brain that was giving me excuses 2 years ago that led me not to get someone's number. And I remember telling myself, bro, this is literally 5 minutes of showering and I'm done. If I am so afraid of being uncomfortable for just 5 minutes, what will give me the courage to be uncomfortable in situations that will ultimately alter the rest of my life? Those life-changing decisions. Showering with cold water actually gets you from your comfort zone. Basically, you have all the things that you're good at, that you're okay doing. Unapatanga watu 20 years in the same job, yet at some point they wanted to go for their personal legend. But 20 years in the same job, they don't want to leave, and then retirement hit, they want to stick there because they never again made any investments. Sad. Once you start training yourself to take those 5 minutes of cold showering, unless you shower for 1 hour, and then you realize with cold water it turns to 5 minutes for some weird reason. You just realize. You'll see. 5 minutes of being uncomfortable takes you to the edge, completely edge of your comfort zone. And for 5 full minutes, you are dead uncomfortable. Dead uncomfortable. And what happens? Remember, this is the same part of the brain that teaches you to be fearful, that comes up with the excuses. What happens is that it trickles down to the rest of your life. So I realized that when I started waking up every morning at 5 a.m., I was taking cold showers. When I started exercising every morning for about 20 minutes, I was taking cold showers, right? Like when I started and decided to rebrand my whole self and monomaniacally pursue self-development, I was taking cold showers. When I decided, you know what, I'm pursuing self-development, I might as well share it with people because I'm a content creator and not matter even though I lose some friends. Because trust me, I lost friends who thought, okay, fine, you're not as cool as you used to be. I was taking a cold shower. When I became comfortable with telling people no and prioritizing myself, I was taking a cold shower. The reason why we put off our dreams is because we are not used to it. You'd rather stay in a couch and binge Netflix all day. You'd rather sit somewhere and say, nah, it's not my thing. And it all starts with a cold shower. You have watched me enough. Again, acha kukaribia screen sana. If you found this video informative, tafadhali, the least you can do for me is just subscribe, hit that like button and comment. Alafu tupatane hapa again another Friday doing that thing. I'll be telling you some other thing. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's so relaxing. Anyway, until next time guys. Bye.